to the official press conference for the World Junior Championships Oregon 2014 in this very beautiful building. As usual in these occasions, the press conference will be in two parts. So we will start with the dignitaries, and then we are very pleased to have with us some of the outstanding young athletes who will be competing later. And we also have with us some legends of athletics. So I would like you to welcome the IAAF President Lamine Diack. We have Essa Gabriel, IAAF General Secretary. We have Lananna, who's the President of TrackTown USA. Stephanie Hightower, who's President of USA Track and Field. And we also have with us some legendary IAAF athlete ambassadors, Atto Boldon, Joanna Hayes, and to my left, Jackie Joyner-Kersee. And in the second part of the conference, and they're already here with us in the front row, we will have Trayvon Bromell from the USA. He's a World Junior 100-meter record holder. Then we have Mary Kane of the USA. She's World Junior Indoor 1,000-meter record holder. We have Matthew Denny from Australia, World Youth Discus Champion. We have Sophie Flink of Sweden, who's the World Junior Javelin Champion. And Dawit Seyam of Ethiopia, who's a World Youth 1,500-meter silver medalist. And last but not least, we have Ana Peleteiro from España, who's World Junior Triple Jump Champion. They're actually being interviewed in the lobby, actually, the last three I mentioned. So without further ado, could I now introduce President Lamine Diack. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Ladies and gentlemen, when Stephanie, dear friends, these are the 15th edition of the IAAF World Junior Championships. Most significantly, Eugene is the first IAAF competition in the United States since 1992 World Cross Country in Boston. With the IAAF World Indoor Championship in Portland in 2016 and Eugene bidding for the 2019 World Championships, the World Juniors marked an important moment for the future of track and field in the USA, the most powerful athletic nation in the world. These championships are set to be one of the biggest ever. 167 IAAF members federation have entered teams with a total of 1,540 athletes, 930 men and 710 women. Eugene will be the largest ever age group athletics event held outside Europe. IAAF World Championship, Junior Championship have been a wonderful success story since they began in 1986. 1,088 athletes from 143 countries took part in this first edition in Athens, Greece. The World Junior are a stepping stone for promising athletes. Most recently, the javelin thrower Keshon Welcott took the biggest step. He won the Junior World Gold in Barcelona in July, and in the same year became the Olympic champion in London. The IAAF World Junior Championship have helped propel many athletes to greatness. These include Usain Bolt, Yelena Isinbayeva, Valerie Adams, Atto Boldon, one of our IAAF ambassadors with us today, was World Junior 200 champion in 1992. More recently, Kirani James, who was 2010 World Junior gold medalist, became Olympic champion in 400 in London. But as exciting and inspiring as the next 6 days in Eugene will be, the World Junior are not just about winning medals and setting personal bests. Young people today have many choices of recreation. Athletics must reach out to the junior age group if we are to retain their interest and remain relevant. Our sport offers deep benefit to the humanity in general. Athletics is the core sport which develop children in a rounded way and enable them to do well in all other sports. Athletics help build confidence to prepare young people for the challenges they will face in their life. I used to say that I was told that sport is know yourself, control yourself, and improve yourself. And the best one is athletics. Because you measure, there is no kidding, you measure. Eugene is the fourth of the 5 IAAF Championship in 2014, a busy year for our sport. In May, we also had the World Relays in Bahamas, in Nassau, and in August, there will be Youth Olympics in Nanjing, in China. In Eugene, we will enjoy a unique atmosphere. The fans of the Hayward Field are some of the most knowledgeable in the world. I would like to warmly thank our host, the state of Oregon, the city of Eugene, USA Track and Field, and our official IAAF partners, and of course, hundreds of volunteers for their support in delivering these championships. We look forward with confidence to a successful championship. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, President. Now we turn to the hosts of this championships. Vin, you have the floor.
Welcome everybody to TrackTown USA. And President Diack, thank you for your leadership in bringing the World Championships to the United States of America. Thank you so much. We've waited for a long, long time to host this event. Whether this is your first visit to Hayward Field or this is the time that you're returning, we welcome you. We expect that you'll have a fantastic time during the 6 days of competition. We feel like we offer a window into the future as the world's best track and field athletes under the age of 20 and representing, as President Diack said, 160 plus countries from around the globe. And they will perform in front of the most passionate and knowledgeable fans in America. Hayward Field, for those of you who do not know, has been referred to often as the Carnegie Hall of track and field, a place where special things happen. And we expect over the next 6 days, even because this is our first event, the first Junior World Championships ever held in the United States, we expect history will be made. We expect history will be made not only by great performances, but fond memories that athletics brings to all of us. We're humbled, this entire state, the university, the cities of Eugene and Springfield, Lane County, we've all come together with our host partner, USA Track and Field, to become we hope, long-lived partners with the IAAF as we host this 2014 World Junior Championship, Oregon 14. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Stephanie, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, and on behalf of USA Track and Field, our board of directors, our athletes, and our coaches, it is our great pleasure to join TrackTown USA in hosting the 2014 IAAF World Junior Championships. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank President Diack, and all of the IAAF Council for supporting this country's efforts to host more events like these World Junior Championships and the upcoming 2016 World Indoor Championships. Thanks to the collaboration between USATF, TrackTown USA, and the United States Olympic Committee, we have made a concerted effort to ensure that the USATF's excellence as an international partner matches the excellence of our athletes on the track. The City of Eugene, University of Oregon, and Oregon State government have all been critical in growing the sport of track and field in and around TrackTown, whether through hosting Olympic trials, the Prefontaine Classic, NCAA championships, or World Championships. Without their support, events like these could not happen in the United States. Under the direction of our board of directors, USATF's new vision has focused on building stronger international relations in our sport and becoming more active in leadership off the track. We are so honored to have hosted the IAAF Council meeting here in Eugene for the past 2 days. Earlier this year, we also hosted the NACAC Women's Meeting, which is female leaders from the NACAC region. USATF is also working closely with the USOC to host coaching exchanges where we share best practices and training techniques with our counterparts from nations around the world. When we share the wealth of our knowledge, the sport will thrive globally. And of course, we anticipate spirited and excellent competition this week at Hayward Field. American athletes have been enjoying a tremendous year with great results from our professionals, as recently as last weekend in Monaco, as you know, and we anticipate that our junior athletes will continue our legacy of excellence. So as President Diack, as well as Ben just mentioned, TrackTown and Hayward Field has some of the most knowledgeable and appreciative fans in the world. And we look forward to having them support all of the world's young athletes here at the IAAF World Junior Championships this week. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're now open to your questions, please. Raise your hands and tell us who you are, who you represent, and who you're addressing your question to. Down here in the front row, if we have
New York Roadrunners and Race Results Weekly. Vin, could you just take us through the process by which you got the idea to host these championships, and how long ago that was, and how much effort you and your team had to put in to pull this together?
Well, what we did when we began to look at the different IAAF championships, it's long been a dream to host one of these world championships. And we looked at what made the most sense on a college campus, and that was bringing young men and young women in the same age category and bringing them to Hayward Field and Eugene. We were able to seek out the support from USA Track and Field, and we went to Monaco and presented a bid to President Diack and the rest of the IAAF Council, and we promised them that we would deliver one heck of a championship. So I can't wait to get started tomorrow.
Thank you. Other questions? Raise your hand here and just.
Hi, Ken Go with the Oregonian in Portland. This is for any of the IAAF people. How important or how much impact will the way that Eugene hosts and staged this championships play, and whether the 2019 outdoor championships are awarded here?
Je n'ai pas bien compris.
La question c'était dans quelle mesure, quel sera l'impact de la performance des organisateurs sur les juniors par rapport à la candidature de Eugene pour 2019?
But I think we said in French, you prove the movement by walking. So I was not sure during my tenure as president to see a great competition in the United States. I was desesperating because, as you know, next year I will stop. And I was saying, okay, I will leave without having a big. So to see them coming and say, we want the junior, it was a fantastic dream for me to achieve. So let us see the 6th day. This 6th day will prove that you are a wonderful nation of track and field. Because I used to say to all my constituency, we have 213 nations. I used to say that our sport, to develop it, is the schools. And here is the schools. The athletes are coming from the schools. And you are doing that. And to see you bidding for this junior was very important for us. So we will look 6 days. And on your way to, we already agreed for 16, the indoor. But on your way to 19, I think making a very successful junior championship here this way, 6 days will be a plus in your bidding process for 19. 19, we decide in November in Monaco.
There's a lot of pressure, President Diack.
Thank you. Question here, down on the left.
René van Zee. There are so many athletes taking part here. What is the maximum of athletes can take part in the World Junior Champions in the future? Is there a maximum?
Est-ce qu'il y a beaucoup d'athlètes qui participent ici à cette édition? Est-ce qu'il y a un maximum à l'avenir qui ne pourra pas être dépassé?
No, we don't fix a limit to. Okay. We have two criteria. We said you have to make the minimum to be part of this event, but we not also the universality. We want to have the world. We want everyone, those who are not rich, the standard to be able to enter one boy or one girl. So when we look, we said 167 countries. We're expecting 175. If we get missing, we do our best to have all our countries saying, okay, we can qualify for the youth under 18 or for the junior championship. And we push in that direction by telling to them, go to the schools. You will find naturally talented boys and girls to bring them in our junior championship. So we continue. So now it is close to 1,550. It can be 1,600. No problem. But we cannot say, like in the Olympic Games, it's 10,500. It can be more.
Thank you. Question here, just at the back.
My name is from the Daily Nation in Kenya. I have two questions to President Diack. One, if Council, has any update regarding the 2017 World Youth Championships. What is the progress? The 3 cities in Kenya, Argentina, and USA. And secondly, it's normal to have, senior athletes changing nationality, moving from one country to another. But we are seeing a trend where there are many young boys and girls changing nationality where they're still, very young. For example, we have quite a number of Kenyan athletes running for Bahrain in this championship. What did you comment about that? Isn't it a bit too early for an athlete to change nationality at that age? Thank you.
Well, so the first question is about 2017. Yes. We're very pleased to see Kenya saying, okay, I'm going to organize we are already organized very successful in Mombasa, World Cross Country Championships. And I think we expect that we will have a good big bid presented to the council to make us accepted to go to Kenya and to the youth competition there in 2017. Our chance of nationality is know that I was the president of Africa for 30 years, from 73 to 2003. And my big fight was we have to maintain our boys and girls in our continent. But it's not only in athletics. In science, our best scientists and so on are outside Africa, because Africa cannot offer them the best condition to perform. It's not only in athletics, it's the best. So in athletics, I used to say I was minister, in another life, I occupy all the, say, to maintain your best, you have to give them the possibility to reach all their potential and also to be rewarded in their life. What are they doing after? They cannot live only from, if it was a time that in athletics, you were not able to get more than $2 a day. When I entered the IAAF, it was $2 a day as pocket money in athletics. Now they're making their life. So we cannot close the door and you can say you cannot move. You cannot move because everyone is free to change. The world is now a village. To maintain your best, you have to give them the best condition to perform first and to be maintained in their country and to serve their sport and so on. So we need policy in our country. And when we're talking to you, work for 4 years, the Minister of Youth and Sport of Senegal. If I want to maintain my best, I have to give them the possibility to develop themselves and to realize them. If not, I cannot close the door and say you can't move. We used to say that to move, you need to stay 3 years. After your last competition in your former nation, before changing. But we had to make a rule saying that if the two federations agree, it can be 1 year. And we face situation in which it's better to say to the athlete, now you can move because we cannot prevent you to do and nothing is not done. This is the situation. I think we are facing a problem is that very young athletes, 15, who have never performed for Senegal or for Kenya, are going to Sweden, living there and becoming champion, becoming Swedish. No, we cannot say, okay, if you have no national policy on that, it's not IAAF, we're going to make a rule against this. It's not possible. So there is a huge problem. We have rules. We do our best to maintain, but there is a role to play by the country. You are so rich in Kenya that even you don't know your best. I remember we had the problem of Wilson Kipketer, who went very young in Denmark. It's when he became the champion that we discovered, you said he's a Kenyan. And our rule was so tough that it was able to run our world championship in '95. It was world champion, but it was not able to run to the Olympics because he was still Kenyan. So it was not in the Olympics in Atlanta, but he won the world championships and again. That's a huge problem. We are very conscious about what he said, but there is an effort to be made inside each country to say, I want to build up something, I want to develop, and this is the way I want to go. I think this is the question, and I work on that for now. Make it 38 years.
Thank you. We have time just for one last question, because then we'd like to bring the young athletes on stage. So one more here. Is the cameraman here? Excuse me. Oh. No, we'll have two. We'll do the quick question.
Austin Meek with the Register Guard here in Eugene for Mr. Diack. What did Vin say? What was his presentation to hold this event here? Eugene is not a large city, but what did he say that convinced the IAAF that Eugene was the right place to have this event?
Il demande qu'est-ce que Vin a dit pour remporter le morceau et faire en sorte qu'on accepte de venir ici pour ces championnats. Qu'est-ce qu'il a dit?
Bon, Win is a man from track and field. So he has not only the word to convince administrator like me, but only youth to come to our sport. So, and he came from TrackTown. He's coming from TrackTown. I think you have a plus because Eugene is recognized. They are a very special city for athletics. So, when he arrived, we were open, very open to a bid coming from, because I was not expecting. Etoile arrive. I see Win arriving, I know his background, where he comes from, he was a coach, and so on and so on. And we are very convinced, and we know the US track and field, funny and so on. And you have said, okay, we have to go. And I think what we will see in these coming days will demonstrate that we are right. So it wasn't a special word, but we know the man. We know what is TrackTown. And we said, okay, go, we have to go there.
Thank you. And they're back here.
Sky Muller, KVAL News. It's for Vin. Kind of a break off of that question. Does this kind of solidify the mantra TrackTown USA and just recently the event being in Barcelona, world-class country or world-class city? Talk about what it means to bring it to a place like Eugene, which is, you know, known here in Oregon, but maybe not nationwide or worldwide.
That's a long question. President Diack once again put a little more pressure on us as well to prove that we're TrackTown USA. So hopefully we'll have a good group of people out there and really supporting the athletes. And that's really what it's all about. I mean, the size of the city. I mean, I often think about Hayward Field and TrackTown community a lot like, say, Augusta National, or Wimbledon for that matter. It's the authenticity associated with the sport of track and field. That's what we need, and we need to be sure that we play our role as a federation. And I believe that Stephanie, under her leadership and Max's leadership, have put together and supported this bid, and I think it's very important for us. It's important for us. We may not be a large city, Barcelona or New York City for that matter, but what we are is a city that believes in the sport and has for many, many years.
Thank you very much. We're just going to have a final photograph.
That was a false start.